Now, conserving resources. Let's talk about it. And when resources are carefully used, that is, there is no wastage, people know how important it is to use resources in a careful manner, and the time is given for the resource to renew is termed as resource conservation. So, there are two things, careful use and the time to be given for renewal. Now, when balancing the resource, now we talk about the resource conservation. When I talk of resource conservation, I have already said that careful usage and the time required is there. But when I talk of sustainable development, then the definition is that balancing the need of resources and conserving them for future use is called as sustainable development. That is to say, balancing the need of resources, not to use it haphazardly, recklessly, because it is found too much in nature, and seeing to the fact that the people coming after us, the future generation, are going to need it. So, this is termed as sustainable development. We just should not talk about resource conservation, but think of the future generation and be more careful and talk about sustainable development. When we have to talk about the conservation of resources, there are three factors which are very essential, and those are reducing the consumption of the resources and recycling them and reusing the resources. So, the 3 R's of resource conservation are reducing, recycling and reusing. It is very important that we have resource conservation, we have sustainable development, and we also use the resources in a careful manner, the 3 R's that we have to remember. And it is the duty of each one of us to remember 3 things. Those are, we have to use the resources, that is the renewable resources, in a sustainable manner. We have to preserve and conserve the diversity of human life found on earth. And we have not to do any damage to the natural environment, or in fact, if that is not possible, minimize the damage to the natural environment. So, remember, it's the duty, students, of all of you to actually do all 3 of them for conserving natural resources. Resources which are the most important part of human development. Thank you. That's the end of your chapter, Class 8 Geography.